Who came up with the name for Apple's new product, Vision Pro? When I heard it, I was not impressed at all. And then come to find out that supposedly Huawei has a trademark in China for Vision Pro that's going to cause an issue. And Vision Pro is very descriptive, which in trademarks, you generally don't want a descriptive trademark because it just means it's weaker. Just doing a search. This one actually covers some international, and Class 9 is generally what computers fall into, which is what Apple filed for. And you can just see that there's a lot of Vision Pros in that class, but in different countries, China, Malaysia, Japan, there's Apple's in the EU, Australia. Um, but even just a cursory look in the US would have realized that this is not a good name, primarily because it is descriptive, and whenever there's a descriptive name for a product, you do have a lot of people that have similar marks. But I number one, can't believe that their attorneys let them go with this, although I'm just assuming that, when Apple wants to do something, they're going to do it, whether they have to pay people off or not to come up with coexistence. But it just doesn't make any sense. When you look at, here's something Provision, which is not as big of a deal, but it's for, electrical equipment, security surveillance, cameras, audio, video, and data recorders in the same class. Then there's a Provision for closed circuit TVs. Here's the Apple Vision Pro, which is for computer hardware, wireless communication devices, and so forth. But when you get to here, there's also some others that are a little more, there's this Vision Pro one word, which generally for trademarks, one word, two words does not make a big difference. But it's for computer software for development of machine vision applications on industry standard computer platforms running industry standard development tools. So that one's, I would probably bet money that that's going to be cited against Apple's. Here's safety glasses, which maybe there's an argument for Provision. Maybe there's an argument that the Vision Pro is also a safety glass. There's a Power Vision for similar related. Here's another Vision Pro that's actually for TVs and displays and entertainment systems, which essentially the Vision Pro is. And then there's a Vision Pro HD for that same company. So it just doesn't make sense to me. Apple's done this before. They had to pay off quite a large payment to get, I think it was the iPad in China, and even maybe the iPhone, both of them. So it just doesn't make sense. I know that they have a great IP team behind them. They do some amazing stuff when it comes to, their patent filings and protecting their marks, but they just seem to drop the ball a lot when it comes to coming out with a new product and coming up with a name, and even some of their names are no longer that interesting. Ever since the original iPod, and maybe now AirPods is another one that's kind of cool, but all the other ones are, iPad, iPhone. That it comes from Apple when it's got that, but they're so creative with their products, but then when it comes to their naming, there's just something missing there. So just wanted to shoot that out. I guess we'll see what happens, whether or not they're going to have to file something separate in China, or if they're going to come to some deal, some agreement with any of the companies in China or any of those that are in the US that are registered already, which they may need to get a consent agreement to get around. Or if they're successfully able to argue the differences in the services, given that their product is really so different than just software, that they, and given that the word Vision Pro is fairly descriptive and they have Apple in front of their application, which is why I suspect they did that, the whole Apple Vision Pro instead of just Vision Pro by itself, is that they knew that that would help them get through the trademark office faster. And it looks like, I think they actually filed this after they announced it, which is another thing that kind of doesn't make sense there, Apple. You guys could have filed, unless maybe that was the day that they announced it, which would have made sense. So just wanted to bring that to people's attention, and we'll see where it comes from. If you like these, please subscribe below, and thanks for watching.